Tonight, a last-ditch effort to save the farm.
We're going back at it again, and if this works out, okay, and if it doesn't, then we're going to shut it down in the fall.
At Miller's in Manotick, they say they need to diversify to stay afloat and will plead their case at City Hall next week. A city shaken by the brazen daytime shooting of a police officer.
When you see recruitment of young people through social media, it is very concerning.
What they are learning in Montreal tonight about the suspect and the victims. And new number, new city.
Everybody welcomed me from day one, treated me like I was from there, treated me like family, and I'll just never forget that.
What Sens fans are feeling as Brady Tkachuk says a final goodbye and thank you to Ottawa before his formal introduction in Florida. Good evening. A long-standing and well-loved family farm says its fate is now in the hands of City Hall. Miller's Farm was denied a zoning permit last fall, which would have allowed the family to diversify its business. Now, after a months-long legal dispute, the Millers are giving it one more shot. The farm and market is located on Rideau Valley Drive North in Manotick. CTV's Leah Larocque has been following this and joins us in studio with the details. Leah.
Patricia, we know Miller's Farm for the pumpkins and berries, yet Ron Miller says he needs to diversify his operations to stay afloat. But he says he spent tens of thousands of dollars on legal fees recently to get his farm back in front of a city committee next week. And he's calling this his final fight.
There's a couple of goats here too, and some baby goats around here.
Miller's Farm, a family tradition for the McHenry sisters.
My favorite part about the farm was probably the strawberries.
The bunnies and the goats.
Ron Miller wants these memories to continue.
It was really fun today.
He has other operations on the farm like trucking and excavation.
It's like everything else in business today. You have to diversify. You go into Loblaws, they don't just sell groceries. They sell everything else.
19 yeas, 6 nays.
Last fall, the city denied the required zoning changes. But this month, he's trying again, one final time.
We're going back at it again, and if this works out, okay, and if it doesn't, then we're going to shut it down in the fall. Because pumpkin season, that'll be it.
Miller's Farm appealed to the Ontario Land Tribunal, and the province appointed a mediator to work with both sides. After months of negotiations, a new staff report is on the table. And the councillor for the area says he feels that this is the best path forward for everyone.
The bagging operation was not in compliance. The noise that comes from that operation was far too severe for surrounding properties. So ultimately, I believe that's why that was the first issue on the table, and it is being removed ultimately from the property.
Neighbors raise concerns about the noise and worry this could set a bad precedent on how agricultural land is used in the city.
We need to ensure that they're financially viable. That's why the province brought in the on-farm diversified use.
Staff are also recommending reducing the total number of vehicles.
Since last fall, we've probably spent another $30,000.
With legal fees mounting, Miller says he just needs councillors to vote yes to stay open.
It's a love of the land. It's very hard to explain as a farmer. I was born on a farm, it's in your blood, okay? But you do what you have to do to keep it alive.
The city's Agricultural and Rural Affairs Committee meets on June 30th. But remember, last time it passed at committee, but at council, the majority voted 19-6 to refuse the bylaw amendment. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Leah Larocque reporting live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, turning now to the latest on the Montreal shooting, which left 3 people dead, including a police officer, a civilian, and the suspect. Tonight, details are emerging about the 2 victims and the shooter, who have all now been identified. Constable Mohamed Lamine Ben-Khadouane was the officer killed. He was 34 years old and had served with Montreal police since 2021. He leaves behind his pregnant wife and young child. 68-year-old Michael Mizrahi was the civilian who died in the shootout. He's being remembered as a devoted father and friend. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin has the latest on the investigation and the shooter's possible motives included in a manifesto.
Investigators are combing the crime scene and searching for evidence in a manifesto left in a hotel room. The coroner's office identified the suspect as 25-year-old Seth Scott Hatfield of Lethbridge, Alberta. There, police conducted an early morning high-risk operation, searching in a residential area near the Lethbridge University where the suspect was a student. Officers are working to piece together why he traveled to Montreal, booked a hotel room, and carried out the shooting. The more than 100-page document he left behind reads like a rambling thesis on incel ideology: anti-women, anti-capitalist, anti-establishment. An ideology with echoes to the 2018 van attack that killed 11 people, injured 15 in Toronto, and the Polytechnic massacre in Montreal in 1989. The shooter then left a note blaming feminists for ruining his life.
The manosphere being this not centralized movement that has different branches within it that is very active on the web. So the incel movement is one of them.
In the manifesto, the shooter also blames the pornography industry for increased isolation of young men, for weakening their will to fight the system. Alo, Pornhub's parent company, is right across the street from the hotel. But investigators have not confirmed that this may have played a part in the suspect's decision to strike here. Montreal's Mayor Soraya Martinez-Ferrada said she did not want to make comments on the manifesto, but said misogyny and hate overwhelm social media.
When you see recruitment of young people through social media, it is very concerning.
And she says more has to be done to ensure that hate doesn't spill onto the streets of her city.
Police forces across the country were warned against copycat attacks as the investigation here continues. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
The shooting leaving police officers across the country on high alert, with advisories going out to several services about increased vigilance. It comes after the suspect's manifesto reportedly called for officers to be targeted. CTV's Katie Griffin is here with what we know on this. Katie.
Patricia, the notice is sent by the RCMP urging officers to exercise extreme caution amid concerns about copycats. The manifesto includes references to incel ideology, resisting the emancipation of women, and pornography. It also lists several groups, including police, to be targeted. Former Ottawa Police Chief Charles Bordelot says the document will form a big part of the investigation.
They'll do that by speaking to all his friends or acquaintances. They're executing a search warrant at his home in Alberta. They'll comb through social media and they'll try to piece together everything, all the information that is out there, in order to paint a story, to develop a story as to what exactly was motivating this individual. Were police officers targeted? Was it anybody else being targeted? And what the motive was.
The RCMP says officers were reminded to approach calls with heightened awareness, request backup when required, support one another, and report concerns or suspicious activity. Now, this was the third time a Canadian police officer has been killed in the line of duty in less than 2 weeks. Bordelot says yesterday was a stark reminder about the dangers officers face and the split-second decisions they have to make. Patricia.
Indeed. All right, CTV's Katie Griffin live for us tonight. Thank you.
Welcome.
And stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the investigation into the Montreal shooting. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News Channel. Still ahead, are the Black Bears calling it a day? The latest on the cross in the capital after season ticket holders are told they're getting refunds and the team will no longer be playing at the CTC. That story coming up. Here's a live look now through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Some sunshine out there. Beautiful evening. 24 degrees is where we're at right now. Definitely felt a little warmer today. Jackie, liking this trend as things are improving a little on the weather front.
That's right, Patricia. We're in for another sunshine day for tomorrow, but unfortunately we could see the return of precipitation by the end of the week. More on that in just a bit. Right now, temperatures really gorgeous right now. 24, like you mentioned, about 23 along the Seaway, slightly cooler at Kingston at 21, but the humidity is starting to increase as well, and we will see more of this by the time we get into the end of the week. Now, overnight temperatures 14, few clouds in the skies. Winds are much calmer than what we saw yesterday, but tomorrow we will see those wind gusts between 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. The anticipated daytime high, 25 degrees. Again, we did say it will be another mainly sunny day in the capital, and we will have more on the weather for the end of the week, because by Thursday evening into Friday, we are anticipating what the early forecast is showing between 5 to 10 millimeters of rainfall. Details in this in just a bit. Patricia.
Thank you, Jackie. Well, new tonight, the Ottawa Senators have already made a big trade, flipping the 9th overall draft pick acquired in the Brady Tkachuk deal. The Sens acquiring 3 players from San Jose, including rising star William Eklund, who was the 7th overall pick back in 2021. Meantime, we're hearing from former Sens captain Brady Tkachuk for the first time since that trade. Here's CTV's Austin Lee.
After 8 years, 572 games, and countless hours in the community, the Brady Tkachuk era is over in Ottawa.
I'm just, so thankful for, everybody that I played with, and most importantly, the city of Ottawa and the fan base. Everybody welcomed me from day one, treated me like I was from there, treated me like family.
The former Sens captain speaking out for the first time since Sunday's blockbuster trade to the Florida Panthers with a thank you post on Instagram, a new episode of his podcast alongside his brother, and a press conference with the Panthers.
Just to be a part of a Stanley Cup winning team is something that has always been my motivation, and to be here and they have the pedigree.
Tkachuk says it wasn't an easy decision to make, but it's a move that is stirring up a range of emotions for Sens fans.
Never really liked him. I think it's absolute crap that he requested a trade with 2 years left, especially being the captain too.
I wish him nothing but the best, and that's all I could say.
For some, his impact off the ice is what they'll remember.
He did my mama a solid. It was her 75th birthday. He sent her a video, no charge, and I thought that was really, really great of him to do that.
And when the Panthers come to town next, expect a mixed reaction at the Canadian Tire Centre.
I think Canadians are nice. They're going to welcome him. They're going to cheer for him. We're not catty like that,
Boo, boo, boo.
Austin Lee, CTV News.
A motorcyclist was seriously injured in a crash at a busy Ottawa intersection this morning. Emergency responders were called to Hunt Club Road and Riverside Drive around 7:45 for a crash involving a motorcycle and SUV. The motorcycle rider suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. He was brought to hospital in stable condition. Police have arrested a 45-year-old man in connection with a series of break-ins at businesses in the Vanier and Overbrook area. The investigation began in February and focused on 20 incidents over a 4-month period. Police say some businesses were targeted more than once. The man is facing a total of 61 charges, including break and enter and mischief. And 5 Bengali nationals are facing charges after allegedly trying to cross the border into Canada with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of illegal cannabis and vape products. They were stopped at the Cornwall border crossing in late April. RCMP say all 5 are currently in the Toronto area and are in Canada on valid work permits. A popular Chinese restaurant in Barhaven is closing its doors after more than 3 decades in business. Juan's Chinese Food first opened on Fallowfield Road near Woodruff Avenue in 1991 and became a local favorite. The family-owned restaurant was known for its egg rolls and Chinese Canadian cuisine. In a note posted on the door, the owners thanked customers for their support. They say it's time to retire. The last day of service will be June 27th. Well, a programming note, we will have live FIFA coverage tomorrow on CTV, so you can take in the action right here. That means there will be no CTV News at 5 tomorrow. The newscast will return on Thursday. You can keep up to date with us anytime at ctvnewsottawa.ca and on the CTV News app. The future of Ottawa's professional lacrosse team in doubt. What the team has told season ticket holders just ahead. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. Planning tomorrow's game at 3 p.m. for Canada and Switzerland. Well, you might want to head up a patio because lots of sunshine is in store. 15 degrees to start, about 26 by the time 4 o'clock rolls around. Might be a little bit more cloud cover for 8 p.m. and onwards, but right now we are looking at a wonderful and gorgeous Wednesday. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It's 24 degrees out there right now, and as we mentioned, while we are in for a sunny Wednesday, expect showers to return Thursday evening into Friday. These details after the break.
Well, taking a look at the roads on your Tuesday drive home. For the most part, things moving well. We are seeing some congestion eastbound at Parkdale tonight, also slowing down westbound right around Woodruff. Well, there are questions tonight about the future of Ottawa's professional lacrosse team. Black Bears season ticket holders have been told the team will not be playing at the CTC this coming year and are being issued refunds. CTV's Camille Wilson has more.
Lacrosse is back in the nation's capital.
With much fanfare just over 2 years ago and after a 20-year absence, professional lacrosse returned to Ottawa. The Ottawa Black Bears became the 6th Canadian franchise in the National Lacrosse League. A partnership was formed with the Ottawa Senators. Home games played at the Canadian Tire Centre.
They did so much for us. Bus trip to the game in Oshawa,
breakfast with the players.
The music was loud, the action fast, fans entertained, but that all could be coming to an end. Season ticket holders, including Greg Stewart, were sent an email from the team saying the Black Bears will not return to the Canadian Tire Centre in the fall.
I'm feeling really depressed because I'm a big lacrosse fan, and I know there are big lacrosse fans in the city.
Refunds will be issued, but fans haven't received any other information about what's next.
Not like leaving us hanging on, thinking, what's going on?
CTV Ottawa reached out to the Ottawa Black Bears, who directed questions to the National Lacrosse League, which hasn't responded to requests for comment.
Why don't they tell us that? If that's what they are doing, at least tell us, and then at least we know. But there was no communication.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
Well, you couldn't ask for better weather for the first couple of days of summer in the capital. Blue skies and plenty of sunshine over at the Hintonburg pumping station today, which means it is perfect weather for ice cream. Yes. There we go. Bartha Dairy teaming up with the Tragically Hip to serve up a new flavor of ice cream. The Tragically Chip is now available. It is maple whiskey flavored with dark chocolate chunks and a black cherry ripple. Some of the proceeds from sales will go to the Breakfast Club of Canada. And they were good enough to give us a little sample here to try. This is actually a really good size sample,
It smells
Jackie.
delicious, Patricia.
You can smell that whiskey in there, I think, right?
Yeah. And the cherry,
Maybe not a breakfast food. Yeah, awesome. All right, well, you have to do the weather, but I'm going to try the ice cream.
I'm going to let you enjoy that.
Fair?
I expect a review. Please save me this.
All right.
Don't take it.
All right,
Let's
it'll be
take a
just
look.
nicely melted for you there because it's warm now, Jackie.
It is, that's right. And it is a warm day out in the capital. 24 degrees. I saw a daytime high of 25. Mainly sunny skies. So if you didn't get a chance to enjoy the weather for today, there's still time this evening. Sunset closer to 9 o'clock. Tonight's lows pretty nice, 14 degrees here in Ottawa. Clear skies is in store. It's a little bit cloudy along the seaway, about 13, 14 degrees. Petawawa, Maniwaki, as well as Gatineau sitting around 11 degrees, but still a nice night to enjoy. Maybe even get some ice cream as well. Tomorrow's daytime highs, another mainly sunny day. 26 is what we are anticipating for most of Eastern Ontario. The warm-up starting to begin, and we will likely see more humidity coming our way too by the end of the week. Now, in Fredericton, as well as Charlottetown and Halifax, lots of rain moving through. 16, 17 degrees is what we're seeing. Cooler weather in Quebec as well, but you see a lot of this yellow that's coming from the Midwest into Ontario. That's where we are seeing the 20-plus degree weather. It's 22 in Toronto and Sunshine, 24 in Windsor, 22 as well in Thunder Bay, and it's really warming up in Yellowknife where it is at 25 degrees, mainly sunny skies, still sitting around the teens for Saskatoon and Regina, but there is the risk of thunderstorm moving in. We might see a little bit of that weather system making our way here by the end of the week. Vancouver sitting at 24 degrees. We talked about the precipitation moving through. Look at Thursday. 7 a.m. Much cloudier day to start our Thursday off, but then by the afternoon, parts of Kingston, even Bancroft, could see a risk of thunderstorm. Kingston, a little bit of those showers by the time it's just past the afternoon. Even Ottawa by 5 p.m., there could be some slight showers moving through. It really is in the afternoon into the early part of Friday that we could see more rain moving in. Now, the 7-day forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. Now, 26 for Wednesday, a reminder that by the afternoon, or the late part of the afternoon, early evening, we could start to see those showers rolling in. It will be the coolest day of the week at 21 degrees. Early forecast showing 5 to 10 millimeters of rain moving into Friday morning. But Patricia, Sunday, Monday, even Tuesday, 29 degrees is what we're anticipating. No precipitation. How was the ice cream?
More ice cream weather ahead is what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. This is Kawartha Dairy. This is Tragically Chip. So good, and it's the maple whiskey that is the key, I think. That part is delicious. Considering?
Can you hear the crunch of the chocolate chip?
I could, yeah. You need a few more bites to really get the full essence of it. We'll let Jackie have a chance to eat that. We'll tell you about this.
We, again, had creative freedom, so I did kind of like an abstract approach of the American flag. He's got his jersey on with USA and like the face paint, so he's a hardcore fan of soccer.
Well, coming up, Beavers take over Toronto during the World Cup. More on how an Ottawa artist is involved in the project.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Wednesday on Your Morning Ottawa, hot days are back. How to spot heat illness and stay safe in the summer sun. Watch us on CTV or stream us live on Crave.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Oh, we are just minutes away from the next FIFA World Cup game. Coverage starts at 6:30. Panama versus Croatia. You can watch here on CTV, TSN, and Crave. Final check on that ice cream forecast.
Tomorrow's a great day for this. If you want it for breakfast, let's take a look here. That's our 3-day forecast. There is rain at the end of the week. More on that in just a bit. 15 to start things off, mainly sunny skies. We will warm up to about 26 degrees. And again, not much in terms of cloud cover, so we'll be much sunnier than today. Thursday, though, in the evening, we're going to see more clouds rolling in. 21 the daytime high, and the rain should be expected to hit the region around the afternoon, so around 2, 3 o'clock. Overnight for Thursday into Friday, we are anticipating more rainfall, but then Saturday, Sunday, even Monday, Tuesday, lots of sunshine in store and 29-degree weather.
All right, good stuff, Jackie. Thank you. We want to check in and see what our news team is working on for tonight. Stefanki's back at 11:30 tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Patricia. World Cup fever is about to reignite on our airwaves shortly, and while some of us here in the capital will be keeping it local, others are venturing to the big city to take in the action. If you are one of those people, tonight we'll be giving you a fair warning about the sticker shock happening in Toronto. It's not just tickets to a game or accommodations that appears to be breaking the bank. We're hearing that just dining out is coming with significant markups, even T-shirts. It means that even if you aren't going to a World Cup game and are maybe thinking about a family road trip as the kids get out of school, you need to be prepared if Toronto is your destination. Full details and consumer reaction tonight at 11:30. Patricia.
I'm going through Toronto on my vacation. I'm going to try not to buy anything while I'm going through.
Good luck.
All right, but it's a lot of fun for everyone, and certainly that World Cup fever taking over the country. People are finding all kinds of ways to cheer their own countries on, and an Ottawa artist is part of a special project that's happening in Toronto.
It was just very exciting to be able to be American and Canadian and have my work somewhere in Canada for such a large event. So yeah, I was super excited.
That's Aaliyah Holmes. Her painted beaver statue is one of more than 50 in downtown Toronto. Most are a nod to the countries that are competing. Holmes is a dual Canadian-American citizen and was tasked with painting the American beaver statue. The project was led by a local Toronto BIA. So you get a little bit of Canada in all of them and represent all the countries that are part of it as well, which is really cool. That is a good-looking beaver.
They all look very good. I was sorting through a few of the images. I'm like, wow, that's a spectacle on its own. I hope they save them when the World Cup's done.
The ultimate is the Canadian beaver, though, right?
Yes.
Do they return it to the sender? Is that how it works?
No, I just want to keep it in a museum somewhere. No? Just me? Okay.